there are times and with certain people that having conversations about HPV cancer can be difficult. Um, and most of that comes from just lack of understanding of HPV cancer and lack of understanding from what is out in the medical community to the public. I think we're seeing a lot more openness towards that cancer. I didn't choose it, it chose me.
What's that? And like you said, there are these sort of implicit bias, right? Um, uh, that I've had anal sex, or that I've been sexually promiscuous, and so because those are ideas floating around in people's heads, they don't feel comfortable saying or asking those questions or sharing those thoughts, and I of course would love to debunk those myths. Um, so I have felt judged, and it's also a space that I've committed myself to stepping into, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm guilty of, I think, telling people, I mean, partly because I don't think I fully understood what kind of cancer you had before I was educated. I thought like it was kind of the same thing, like anal colon cancer. So I used to tell people colon cancer is what she had because it was like the easier thing to say than anal cancer. I think anal seemed stranger in my head,
Right.
Like it's weird.
I
like,
get it.
Oh, my mom has anal cancer, and then I feel like people automatically make their own assumptions about how she got it. So it's just something.
Yeah. Were you protecting me?
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit.
Yeah.
The lack of knowledge about the HPV virus, and I think some of the embarrassment that it caused is I got this sexually transmitted disease from someone else. I think that's why, and that may be why most people don't talk about it, is they're embarrassed.
I myself have judged myself. I mean, I wasn't promiscuous. I married my first boyfriend, and my sexual activity was extremely limited. So, I think about how I could have gotten that. I know that growing up, I had a very difficult menstrual cycle. I had a lot of abnormal pap smears. I had endometriosis. So it's just so difficult to really tag how I could have even gotten HPV, at least for me.
It doesn't take a million people. It doesn't take you to have 5 sexual partners, 10, 100. It takes one sexual partner. And, with my situation, it just happened to be someone cheating on me. It wasn't even that I was being promiscuous. So I think that was the hardest thing to deal with, and the hardest thing that I had to explain to my parents. But with them being very old school, they just saw it as me being very promiscuous, and he said some things that were very hurtful towards me, not only about my sexuality, but about my sexual habits. And it was really rough.
Unfortunately, of all the cancers, it's probably the most judgmental cancer, and not something you would want to have to go into further explanation, because I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that it lives within us, and my body decided to stop fighting the virus.
As a nurse in nursing school, cervical cancer was discussed in a different topic than it was discussed like a taboo type situation. Certain groups got it. And so it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, me? No, I'm married. I'd been married 15 years at the time. And I'm like, no. And so I had to really read up and learn about it and get comfortable with sharing that, because you don't want people to look at you a certain way. And I'm like, it was no fault of my own. It happens.
The main reason that I feel that I don't have any side effects and I'm as healthy as I am is my family.
I have a big family. They were there every step of the way, especially my wife. And I don't think I could have gotten through this without them.
When you say that I had cancer, my whole family had cancer. Everybody had to live through it with me. Not only just my immediate family, and the explanations that they had to tell their friends, because everybody wants to know the next step. Oh, your dad has cancer. What kind of cancer? And they are trying to digest my past, what I might have done, what I could have done, and that what they might be looking towards. It showed itself in my lymph nodes, was found on the back of my tongue, and which is very prototypical for a man. And I hit all the right milestones. I was over 50, not vaccinated, good health, happy life, and everything was going great until one day I'm shaving and find a bump.
Well, I think cancer diagnosis is that the right word, for any family is very sad and stressful. And like, I'll never forget when you told me, I was very blindsided, and it was right after my aunt had actually died from this, like, actually the same cancer, so it's actually really scary. So yeah, it was very hard, but it's also something that we've accomplished as a family. Obviously you accomplished it because you were the one that beat it, but like but I think that it's something that we've all accomplished at the same time, because now we get to do things like this and spread awareness and try to prevent more people from getting this very preventative cancer. So I think there's like a silver lining.
There's always
For
a
sure.
silver lining.